The drama never ends when it comes to the Saints, but now that we're in the offseason, it feels like it's starting to pick up more and more. This is just something that happens league-wide in general during the offseason. Stories start to pick up, players start posting stuff to their social media. But for the Saints specifically, we had the coaching staff drama for a while. Now there's a quarterback drama of who's going to be this number one starting quarterback. What happens with Derek Carr and Spencer Rattler? And now on top of this, we have a Saints player, a former first-round pick, taking shots at the team. And you will not believe which player it is too. It's defensive end Payton Turner, who possibly took a jab at the Saints on his Instagram story. We're going to be breaking down this whole situation on today's video. Make sure to subscribe. We're trying to hit 10,000 subscribers this year. 72% of you who watch these videos aren't subscribed. Double check. It's free and it helps the channel out a lot. Payton Turner was the Saints' first round pick in 2021, and now his rookie contract is essentially up after playing 4 seasons with the Saints. And in those 4 years, the team really gained no value from him. No disrespect, but that's the truth. The guy hasn't been reliable and he hasn't been a factor for this team in the 4 years that he's been here. And now that Payton Turner is coming off of a 2-sack season, which ties his career high, he is set to become a free agent in the 2025 offseason, as the new league year will take place and begin on March 12th. And if he is not re-signed by the Saints by that date, then he officially becomes a free agent. And to be honest, I don't think many Saints fans wanted or expected Payton Turner to be back in New Orleans, maybe on like a 1-year, $2 million deal or something like that, like a 1-year prove-it deal or just some extra depth. But now, after he posted this possible shot at the Saints, maybe Payton Turner may not want to be back in New Orleans for the 5th season of his career. So Payton Turner the other day, I'm not exactly too sure when, if it was on Wednesday or Tuesday or something, but he posted this to his story saying, no matter how good you are, if you are in the wrong place, you are worthless. And then he posted this photo of this, I'm assuming it's supposed to be a nice car in this dusty old garage, making the car look not as nice or as clean. So in this situation, he is saying that he is the car in a bad situation. The garage and the lighting and the dust is making the car look bad. The same way maybe the Saints situation or the coaches, the scheme is making him look bad. So this is something that a lot of people took as he's taking a shot at the Saints. And then up here, I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but he posted a song with the title Retire by Alvedon Final. I really doubt that it's hinting at a retirement or anything. Just wanted to note that as well. Now, I could also be reaching here. These players have lives of their own outside of football. Their lives aren't just football and only Saints, and everything they say, do, breathe, eat is football related. So maybe this is for something in a whole nother aspect of his life and I'm just reaching here. But as a fan, it's hard not to see something like this when a player on the team posts something like this and not automatically think that they're taking some type of subtle shot towards the franchise and the organization. And when the Saints are in a situation where a lot of people are unhappy, they haven't been winning for a while, a lot of people are upset with the owner and the general manager, you start to pay attention to a lot more things, and stuff like this does catch your eye a lot more. Now, I do find this funny because it would make sense if a guy like, I don't know, Zach Bond or Trey Hendricks had posted this after the Saints didn't give them an extension. But Payton Turner, of all people, posting this is a little, how do I say this politely, stupid? No disrespect. The dude has talent. He's in the NFL and I'm not. The dude got drafted in the 1st round. If the Saints weren't going to pick him, then he probably would have got picked in the 2nd round. Like, the dude obviously has talent. He's a great athlete. But when we talk about what he's done in the NFL, he hasn't really shown anyone anything worthy to be posting stuff like this on his Instagram story. But to be fair, whether did Zach Bond throughout the first 4 years of his career, and now he got some Defensive Player of the Year votes. He's a Super Bowl champion. He was a first-team All-Pro, a Pro Bowler the first year he left the Saints. So, I mean, if Zach Bond would have posted this last year, like we all would have been like, okay, whatever. And now Payton Turner's posting this and we're all like, whatever. But I mean, anything can happen. But when you look at the NFL career that Payton Turner has had to this point, it is by far super disappointing for a first-round pick. I mean, just looking at his stats, 5 games played his rookie year, 8 in 22, 2 last season, and then he played essentially a full season in 2024. He's accumulated 5 total sacks and 31 games with the Saints. He has 2 forced fumbles. He has 4 pass deflections at the line. It says stuffed yards right here. These are 11 tackles for loss. He's had some nice moments, but I mean, this is not it for a first round pick. I mean, if you had a guy who was undrafted doing this, or I don't know, yeah, a guy who's undrafted doing stuff like this, I don't think people would be upset. But this guy was a first round pick, and he played 2 games last year and 8 games the year before and 5 games his rookie year, and he has a total of 5 sacks. He should be getting that in one season as a first round pick. Now, even when he's been healthy, looking at the snap counts, he has yet to even play 50% the amount of defensive snaps in the NFL. In 2024, he played the most amount of snaps he's ever played, but it was at 31%. His rookie year, 141 downs played at 41%. He has yet to even play over half the amount of defensive snaps the Saints have been a part of. For a first round pick, that is disappointing. And this doesn't just show that, oh, he's been hurt. This is like right here, 2024, when he's been healthy, 16 games played, 31% amount of snaps. That is so disappointing. There simply just isn't a whole lot here to work with, which is why it was so confusing and baffling that he posted that photo to his Instagram story. The production isn't there, the snaps aren't there, the health hasn't been there. It was this past season. He played 16 games but only had 2 sacks and only played 30% of the snaps. And when he was healthy and he was available and didn't make a big impact, wasn't a factor. And this is one of the worst defensive lines in the NFL, and he couldn't produce or be an impact player, and I think that kind of just says all that we need to know. Now, him being a non-impact player on one of the worst defensive lines in the NFL made it surprising that the Saints declined to take trades for him at the trade deadline, allegedly. There was a rumor at the Senior Bowl, according to Walter Football, a website, saying that the Saints declined trades for Payton Turner. We have a whole video covering it, but right here, let's see. The Saints had a quick start to the season. Sources from teams around the league. New Orleans turned down offers for veteran defensive ends Carl Granderson and Payton Turner. I don't know how credible this is. He has Payton's first name spelled wrong, so take it with a grain of salt down here. However, Payton Turner has been a rotational backup that has been a disappointment as a former first-round pick. It was surprising to some teams that the Saints turned down mid-round offers for Payton Turner. If this is true, teams are obviously going to take a chance on him. They probably had some good grades on him coming out of the draft. And if the Saints really did turn down mid-round draft picks, like round 4, round 5, 6, I don't know, and they didn't take those offers, that is beyond stupid. But I don't know how true or believable this truly is. So as for the future of Payton Turner, I think we can assume that he probably will not be back with the Saints. I could be wrong though. Maybe they agreed to like a 1-year, $3 million deal, $4 million, whatever it may be, like a small short-term deal. But if you're the Saints, you might just want to be moving on. They're about to get a new defensive coordinator, either Brandon Staley or Christian Parker or Durante Jones from the Vikings. One of those guys will be the new defensive coordinator. They may have a new scheme. They might want to reevaluate and reconstruct this whole roster, and he may be one of the guys who they do not want to bring back. I mean, clearly the defensive line has been one of the worst units on the team and in the NFL for the past few seasons. Why would they want to keep a guy who has been a part of that unit and part of the reason why they have been one of the worst defensive lines in the NFL? And on top of that, he just simply may not fit the prototype and style that Brandon Staley, for example, may want to run in his defense. He may want smaller edge rushers, that kind of player, and Payton Turner may not fit that prototype, and the new coaches would obviously not want to keep him if that was the case. As for Payton Turner, maybe a new fresh start could help him. New scenery, new coaches, new city, new fans, kind of like the Zach Bond situation. There's an article saying Zach Bond would cry and just feel overwhelmed with the Saints situation and sigh in his car when he had to go into the Saints building. For him, a new fresh start and restarting his NFL career from scratch benefited him a lot and probably played a huge role as to why he was a defensive player of the year candidate. Also, having a stacked roster helps him, but at the same time, you can't deny that him getting a fresh start in Philly benefited him more than if he stayed with the Saints. So maybe that is the case for Payton Turner. A new team, new coaching, a new area could possibly benefit him. I have a hard time thinking that this is a Zach Bond situation where a team like the Eagles is going to sign Payton Turner and he's going to get 10.5 sacks, or a team like the Seahawks is going to sign him and he's going to get 8 sacks. But if that does end up happening, then so be it. Right now, I don't think any of us are expecting that to happen. None of us are saying we should re-sign him because new coaching staff. Like, if it happens, it happens. A big chunk of us wanted to re-sign Trey. A good chunk of us, maybe not a good chunk, but a decent amount of us wanted Zach Bond to stay with the Saints after he actually showed some promise last year and they didn't keep those guys. I don't think anyone is really saying to re-sign Payton Turner right now. It makes zero sense to bring him back. So if he goes off onto a new team and kills it, so be it. That's the situation. No one, though, is going to be upset if he leaves. They'll just be upset if another team gets results in production out of him. Let me know what you make of this situation. Does Payton Turner, is he taking a shot at the Saints, or is it just maybe some life thing and I'm just reaching and reading too much into it? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel. We're trying to hit 10K this year, and I'll catch you next time. Have a good one. Peace.